That if you're talking rush hours, you got to mention Emmitt Smith. It's, of course, true, one of the greatest players to ever step foot on a football field, three-time Super Bowl champion, NFL Hall of Famer. I don't know why you're not wearing that gold jacket. I would literally sleep and bathe in it if it were me. A four-time Pro Bowler, league MVP, Super Bowl MVP, my God. And you still somehow hold the NFL's all-time rushing yards record. What is it like to be Emmitt Smith?
It's cool. It's very cool. It's very cool to do something that no other man on the planet has ever done. And that's a wonderful feeling. And for me, I don't take that lightly. I'm very humbled by the simple fact that the journey itself was a wonderful journey, but the end results turned out to be worth the whole entire journey. So the hard work, the sacrifices that one makes to get to a place and to be able to be surrounded by such a great group of great athletes and do things that not many people get a chance to do. That's a wonderful feeling.
I mean, it's got to be a wonderful feeling that it's never getting broken, ever.
You know,
come on.
I always said records are made to be broken, and but you know, the way the game is these days, it's going to be hard to see someone actually climbing that mountaintop and knocking that, getting over 18,000 yards. So that is out there pretty good.
Emmitt, Derrick Henry's the closest active player, and he's got like literally 9,000 yards to go. You're sitting pretty. You got a nice little cushion with that record. I appreciate the modesty, though. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about last weekend. You go back to the swamp, the return. You go to watch your son, EJ, his Aggies take on your Florida Gators.
Yep.
You got some heat, my friend, for picking Texas A&M on SEC Nation. You were right, though. They won 33-20. What did that moment mean to you to see EJ on that field?
You know, it was a surreal moment because I remember putting EJ, being at the University of Florida for Hall of Fame induction, and we walked him to the football field in the south end zone, right where A&M comes out and right where the Gators come out. And he was like 3 years old, maybe 4. And we put him on the ground, let him play in the end zone, took pictures of him in the end zone and everything else. And he grew up thinking that he's going to go to the University of Florida. That was in his mindset. I didn't put it in his mindset. That was just his mindset because he had Gator stuff in his bedroom. Urban Meyer sent him a ton of Gator stuff and everything else. And so to see him come out of the tunnel in that uniform for A&M against my Gators, and to see him play on that field that I played on, it was a surreal moment. It was a proud moment for me as a father and for us as a family to see everything come almost full circle in that regard. And so I was proud of the way that he ran the football for Texas A&M. I was proud of the way A&M played all the way around, the running game that they displayed. It was a great day. It really was.
Loved seeing that. But I mean, 2 blowout losses at home. 7 straight losses to FBS opponents. Florida, what's up with their head coach? He said that he's 100% positive he has a chance to get to a 4th year as the head guy in charge there. How are you weighing in on this, Emmitt?
Well, I'm not sure. I have mixed emotions.
Okay.
Because I think DJ Lagway give us the best opportunity to be successful as an offensive unit because of his throwing ability and his ability to maneuver around in the pocket. And it's tough. It's so tough because our schedule is going to be so tough. I mean, we still have LSU. We still got Georgia to play against, and South Carolina, Tennessee. We got some tough games ahead of us, and we haven't really shown that we have the ability to go out and compete at the level that we need to. So it's going to be very tough to watch this season. And if Coach is right, that he has nothing to worry about, he can see a 4th year, kudos to him.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing it happening.
Okay.
I don't see it happening.
Emmitt, the question.
I think loss is going to force the alumni, going to take a lot of people off. The loss this past weekend and the loss to Miami at home, both of those at home, And the way we lost those games, it's not a good look.
It's not a good look. You're always honest. You always get there, Emmitt. For me, my questions aren't going to get much easier because let's take that smiley face and talk about the Cowboys. 16-game regular season home winning streak. It ends. It doesn't just end. It blows up. 44-19 in the loss to the Saints last week. And their second straight home blowout going back to that Packers playoff loss last season with Aaron Jones running all over the place. What are we chalking it up to in Jerry World?
I would say the inability to stop the run. Like you said, Aaron Jones ran all over us and ran us out of the playoff. And then the Saints come in and Alvin Kamara comes in and run all over us as well. And we don't stop the run. So our inability to stop the run is a major problem. And it's just tough. But the good thing about the National Football League, you have another week to come back out and bounce back. It's not going to be easy going up against Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. And as you said, Derrick Henry coming into town. Derrick Henry is probably licking his chops right about now because of what they did what we gave up last week. So we're going to have to get our pride back because I think the Saints came in and took something from us. And now we got to fight like hell to get it back.
Can that be a good thing? Are they that mad? Like, how do you get your pride back, Emmitt?
Well, one, we got to figure out we got to get back to the basics. Run fit. We got to run fit, and defense have to stay in the gaps. You cannot open up run lanes like you did last week against the Saints. I mean, you absolutely got to do exactly what coaches have taught you to do. In Zimmer's scheme, if you're supposed to be in a gap, you need to be in that gap. And if you're not in that gap, you're going to create running lanes that you've seen the Saints just run through last week. And you don't want that to happen this week with Derrick Henry because secondary guys do not want to tackle Derrick Henry by themselves. It's going to be a problem.
It's going to be a problem. Do you think the Cowboys pull this one off or no?
I hope so. I plan on being at the game.
Oh. I
got a buddy of mine, a partner of mine that's a Baltimore Ravens fan, and so he's coming to town. And so it's going to be love-hate this weekend, no doubt. And I'm praying that my Cowboys pull it together and we pull off a victory.
I love that. It's not just stopping the run that seems to be the issue. We got to talk about this rushing attack with the Cowboys. 68 rushing yards total in the Saints game, 170 total on the early season.
How many attempts, though? How many attempts did we have?
It's a good question. Yeah. Well, what do you make of that?
68 may be the total number, but the attempts also is important. If we had 20 attempts and we rushed for 68 yards, that's a problem. And don't forget, also sacks count against the rushing stats.
It's 21 attempts.
All right, that's bad.
My whole control room just started laughing.
That's real bad. So how many of those belongs to the quarterback?
How many? They're looking it up for you. But they said two.
Two belongs to the quarterback. It's not a good look. That's not a good look.
What's going on there? They could elevate Dalvin Cook from the practice squad for this game against the Ravens.
Now you sound like you're panicking. You sound like you're against what Zeke is doing. You're against what Dowdle is doing. And at the end of the day, the Saints has a very good run defense. Period.
Yeah.
And what I love about what the Saints did, and this goes unnoticed as well, is the Saints played their players during the preseason. They played their players a lot. So physically fit and physically ready to go, and they're rolling. Our team, we didn't quite do it that way because we set stars, we set guys. We didn't go into the game at that level, and that could be a problem as well. So the Saints are a very good defense and very good offensive unit right now, and you saw it, full throttle, and the way it worked.
Yeah.
And it is what it is.
I mean, the Steelers did the sort of same thing. It's why I love talking to you because you're dead on about being game ready. You're not worried about Zeke. Zeke 6 attempts for 16 yards. We don't have a concern about the rushing attack. That's huge. Cowboys fans want to hear that.
Yeah, I don't have a concern. I mean, my concern is the commitment to doing it and doing it on a consistent basis. Mm-hmm. That's my biggest concern. And getting somebody down the field, having somebody come out and run a 4-2, blow the top of the defense wide open, go down the field a little bit more. We didn't do hardly any of that this past week. We tried a couple of times. We probably got one or two of those completions, but
yeah.
we need some more explosive plays down the field.
Yeah, do you think there's pressure on Dak to sort of get him the ball more now that he's paid? Is like something like that going on? No.
Well, that's the expectation. Anytime you pay somebody money, you expect them to go out and just tear it up. And if they don't, then everybody in the world feel like you overpaid somebody. There's a lot of overpaid football players in the National Football League. Everybody's not performing. Matter of fact, they need to take some of that salary that they're giving some of these guys and just pass that on over to me, since I've already proven that I can run. You know what I'm saying? So at the end, that's how I look at it. We have a bunch of overpaid players for the performances.
Are you saying Dak's overpaid? Let's be clear.
I never said a name.
Okay, good. Making sure.
I never said a name. And I wasn't just talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, good.
I'm just talking about, I said across the league.
Okay.
I never said any particular team. And so there are quarterbacks that are overpaid. There are running backs that are overpaid. There's wide receivers overpaid. There's tight ends overpaid. There's defensive players that's overpaid. There's a lot of overpaid players, period.
How many yards could you get out there today, Emmitt?
Not 1 yard.
Stop. You really think so?
I might pull a hamstring coming out my stands.
No. I love how you think you need more money. I saw you at Super Bowl. I don't know who wasn't giving you a check Super Bowl week. I was like, what are we doing? I don't even know which of the list of things you get paid to talk about we're talking about today, which is amazing, and you're so amazing to talk to. When I did see you at Super Bowl, you were surprised that McCarthy came back, that Jerry brought him back. But you said that you were excited to see, okay, let's evolve. How are you going to evolve given this opportunity? What is the Emmitt Smith evaluation of his evolution 2 weeks in?
I would just say we played a solid defense in Cleveland, a solid defensive front that gave us or afforded us the opportunity to work not only on our pass blocking, but also work on our run game. In that first half, I thought we did, and I thought the play calling was excellent, because we kept the Browns defense off balance. Second half, not so good. And I've seen that happen throughout Mike McCarthy's tenure. We either gonna hit it on all cylinders, or we're gonna hit and miss here and there. I'm not sure. Last week was just a debacle. It just was a debacle, period. And we didn't rise up like we should have. And maybe we don't have that talented of a football team to rise up and do what people expect. We do have a few injuries here and there, but bottom line is next man up. And right now, I feel like some of our players, whether it be on the offensive side or even on the defensive front, we could be playing with some, what I would call back in the day, plan B and plan C guys. So McCarthy, he has his work cut out for him. Mike Zimmer has his work cut out for him as well.
Is this a playoff team?
Not the way they looked last week. Not the way they looked last week.
I love talking to you. Let's get to why you're here. This is incredible. September, Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. You're always doing the best to get people educated about things they should be thinking about in the craziness of their everyday lives. People don't stop. They don't self-care. They don't think about it. You're teaming up with Depend, and you're raising awareness for this month, for this really important cause that affects a lot of people. Yeah,
because September is the Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and we are teaming up with Depend to try to help men understand that there's a way and a methodology around staying healthy, and going in and getting your prostate check or getting the prostate screening is easier today because you could do it through blood tests. And I'm trying to encourage guys to stay on top of their health because as an athlete, that's what keeps us on the football field is our health. And as a man, that's what keeps you in the game with family and being around for the kids when we are on top of our health. There are other things that are out of our control. But the one thing we can control is, number one, how we take care of our body. So if you got your primary position, make sure that you're going in and getting screened every year, just so you establish the right base, and just in case something gets out of normal, that you understand where you once were to where you are today and what could be going on, and give yourself a chance to get it corrected. Because knowing when something is changing give you the ability to get it corrected so it doesn't become a bigger issue down the road. And oftentimes people stick their head in the sand, don't want to know information, but the more information that you have in your body, the better decisions that you're able to make. And the better decision you're able to make, the more comfortable you become, and the more you put yourself in a position to be around for your family.
You said it, give yourself the chance, give yourself the opportunity to fix it if something's wrong. That's huge,
Yes.
and it's preventative, and it's amazing that you're saying that. And I hope, I mean, when Emmitt talks, everybody listens. So everybody go, make sure you do that for Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Last one for you, NFL Hall of Fame. 167 modern era candidates for this 2025 class. Very notable first-time nominees. I need to know who's first ballot. Who's got the best shot at first ballot here?
Oh man, that's a good one. I think Adam Vinatieri does.
Okay.
I think Eli Manning may have it as well, even though his numbers may not be equivalent to other quarterbacks, but he did beat the Patriots a couple of times, and he's probably the only one to say I beat him. Yeah, convincingly both times. Well, and you know, he has two Super Bowl. I think he has two Super Bowl rings, right?
Sorry, who'd you say?
I think Eli has two
Yeah,
rings.
he does.
Right?
He
Yeah.
does.
So,
I didn't know if you were going to go Eli. I think that's going to be a very polarizing topic on Twitter today. Yeah, you saying Eli Manning is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Love to hear it, Emmitt. You are the GOAT. Adam Vinatieri, the Emmitt Smith of kicking records. We love it. Thank you so much. You're the best.
Thank you.